Oh, that was lovely. It's very loud and very, very clear about it. So yes, I'm going to start again just for the recording. Hello, welcome to my workshop. This is, oh God, you can see my slides. No, it's called De-Google Your Smartphone, Lineage Os. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Kim. That's my Discord handle. For those of you planning on following along, just remember to take it slow and read all the instructions you see. I've been living with a de-Googled smartphone since January of 20, that's accurate, yeah. Or is it January 2020? 2021, yeah. I've been living with it for a long time. Ooh, I just got, so I'm in a public space, I have to wear this. They're making me wear it. Oh, okay, so I look like this now. So, I have quite a bit of experience living with my de-Googled smartphone. So, yeah. Yeah, I even wrote a blog post about it. It's linked right here. I'll share it with you all at the very end if you want to see the slides or a PDF of the slides. Is a Googleless life viable? I argue it is, though you will have to accept a few trade-offs because the world we live in today is geared towards the assumption that you have a Google smartphone. So to give you an example, I bought a package from Amazon just 2 days ago. And I chose an Amazon locker to pick it up. And my assumption, my foolish assumption, was that they would email me a QR code or something to unlock the locker. But no, they integrated with a Google API to disclose my location and my Bluetooth hardware, so that way it could pair to the locker to unlock it. So when I took my de-Googled phone to unlock the locker, it didn't work, right? Like that amazingly challenging feature to achieve, it's Amazon, they make it available for everyone. But if you have a de-Googled phone, some specific features like that, you're going to have to learn to live without, which is fine. I got my package. I used another phone to do it. I cheated. But I do live with this phone every day. So it's very viable indeed, in my opinion. So I got to warn you now, not every phone is supported, okay? On the Lineage Os website, they have a long list of devices that they're willing to release software for. And unless your phone is on that list, your life is going to be hard, was what I'm saying, is if your phone isn't on that list. If it is on that list, it's pretty seamless. You just follow the instructions. So with that, I got to warn you again, not every phone is unlocked. Carriers, when I say carriers, I mean cellular carriers like Verizon, AT&T, at least in America. Here we have Vodafone and a company called Orange, which is pretty neat. They regulate what you can and cannot do with your phone. And so do the carriers that sell the phones. And carriers have a rationale. They want to make sure that you fully paid off your device before you are allowed to do things with it, because they don't want you to jumping carriers, finance a phone and then just leave. So you got to unlock the bootloader. And finally, if you are following along, I'm not saying if there is anyone following along or not, but you got to remember to back up your phone, because we are reinstalling firmware today. So it's going to erase absolutely everything. You're starting clean slate, and that's what this is all about. We're not de-Googling by just removing Google software. It's well beyond that now. It's too difficult to just do it piecemeal. Lineage OS started from the ground up. They took Android, which, by the way, Android, if the goal here today is de-Googling, we've already kind of failed a little bit. because it is Android, and Android was originally published by Google. But we're kind of glossing over that because the real thing that offends us, the real privacy invasive thing, is all the supporting services that are installed on top of Android. So Android by itself is very lightweight and very non-intrusive, but the Google services are not so much. And actually, oh yeah, I forgot to add the outline. Oh well. So what is Lineage Os? I just got into this. It's very easy to de-Google is what it is in a nutshell. You follow the instructions and you get regular updates, very fast updates, a lot faster than any carrier I've ever had. It's almost weekly. So yeah, and what you're giving up is this right here, the Google mobile services. And I'm going to go ahead and just click that just to show you. So the Google mobile services are all these apps. So Gmail, Google Maps, YouTube, Google Drive, Google Play. You won't have an app store right away. I'll show you how to install an app store. It'll be fine. But that's what you're giving up when you install Lineage OS. Like all these apps don't come pre-installed. And that's a good thing, in my opinion. So Lineage OS is actually based on something called CyanogenMod, which went under several years back. It's the same thing, it's just renamed. It's a fork of that project. So I'm going to try to get back into here. I accidentally, foolishly exited out of my presenters mode. So I'm going to go ahead and represent that. There we go. All right. Warnings, what you're signing up for. When you unlock the bootloader, you're going to get a bootloader warning. It's kind of scary looking. Relax. What this means is that Google can no longer guarantee the software that's installed on the phone is the same as they shipped it to you. This is actually a security feature. This isn't Google trying to control your life. This is actually, that bootloader warning is kind of a good thing because they're preventing people from manipulating Android and giving you something with spyware on it. So Google can no longer guarantee the software on the phone, but you can because you changed it. You installed it. So when you get this warning, you can kind of be proud of it. Like, I did that. And finally, what I mentioned earlier, not all apps will work. Get used to seeing this message for a lot of apps. Won't run without Google Play services, which you can try to install. There are communities of people that try to get Google Play services working on Lineage OS. It's kind of hit or miss, and I don't recommend it, but it is something you can do. So these are the tools you're going to need. You need a computer, any computer running any operating system. You need a USB cable to connect the phone to the computer, and you need the phone. All right. You're going to need to know a little bit, just a little bit of command line. So really quickly here, let's see if I can grab one. I'm going to open up a terminal. I'm going to bring it up there. Let's see if we can see this and the commands at the same time. Zoom in. There we go. That's a little bigger. A little bigger, a little better. So this is the terminal. This is what it looks like. I'm sure you've heard of it.
We don't see your terminal. We only see in your browser.
Really? Okay. Excuse me. Thank you for pointing that out. I'm going to start a new share, and I'm going to share the whole desktop this time, like a good presenter. Yes. How's that?
Yep.
It should be snapping in.
Now we can see you.
Yay. Thank you. Excellent. So this is the terminal. So you're going to need to know the CD command. And actually the ls command is kind of helpful, which stands for list, your listing directories. And with that, you can use CD to change into a directory. So I'm going to pick the Steam directory. And now I'm in the Steam directory. Yay. And I can list that, and it has stuff in it. if the terminal is cluttered, I like to recommend a clear command, CLEAR, and that just makes it nice looking, you know. So if you're like lost in all the text, like you can type that command and everything's kind of okay again. And finally, the tab completion is going to be very important because it's going to save you a lot of typing, because some of these downloads that you're handling are quite long in the name. So if you, for example, type L and you hit tab, it's supposed to, LS and then L, yeah, it completes names for you. So you just hit tab and it completes names. That's all it does. So don't worry too much about this. I'll point out when you can use it, when it's time to use it, if you're following along. I haven't actually seen anyone post if they're actually following along with a phone today. So I might just be de-Googling the phone live and not stopping for people to catch up. So if you have a phone, tell me now. Otherwise, I'm going to go a little fast. So with that, I'm going to hide that away. Excellent. And I'm going to present live. Is that what that does? What does this do? Oh, God. That's not what that does at all. What is this? I don't want that. All right. So these are the tools that you have to install. You can download them from here. They have different directories for different types. I am on Linux today, so I'm going to be downloading this tool right here. You can see here, this is what it looks like when you're actually running the tools. And finally, we're going to cheat today. Instead of actually fully installing them, we're just going to run them right from the folder because they do work without actually installing them. You just download them and run them. The instructions here actually get into like how to install them in your system, but it's very developer oriented. So we just kind of skip that. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. I'm going to save it. Very nice. And I'm going to save it to my desktop under a new folder titled Android. And we're just going to save it there. Cool. And I'm going to go and go to that folder. And I'm going to unzip that little guy. Cool. And now I'm going to go ahead and start using those tools. So if you had a phone and you're going to follow along, this is what I would have you do. I would have you go to the wiki and check to see if your phone is supported. This is where you go for that. So yeah, if you want to do it, go ahead, give it a shot. wiki.lineageos.org. And I'm going to give people a chance to do that. And I am going to get into that tools directory. And I'm going to do that by changing directory to home, which you can use the little tilde thing, or you can just type CD. But I'm going to go home, then I'm going to CD into my desktop. Android folder. I just used tab completion there. I'm going to list that folder. I'm going to CD into platform tools. I'm going to do that by typing P and then tab, enter. I'm going to list that directory. And it has a platform tools folder. It's very deep. I don't know why they did that. So CD, change directory into platform tools. Very nice. And this is looking cluttered, so I'm going to clear. And I'm going to see what's in this directory right now. There's a bunch of stuff. I don't know what all this stuff does, but that's okay. You don't have to know. What you need to do is type the Adb command. And we're going to /, so we're going to run it. And then Adb. And I'm going to hit enter. And look at that, it ran. It put out a bunch of garbage onto the screen. That is cool. So now I'm going to do Adb. Don't forget the /Adb list devices. Oh, is it devices list? It's one of them. Yeah, there we go. And it came back blank. So I'm going to clear and run that again. I'm going to hit the up arrow. Then I'm going to do Adb devices. And it's showing no devices are attached. So I'll attach a device. And I'm going to change your view. So you're no longer going to see me. So I'm going to wave goodbye. And I'm going to move the webcam. Can you all see my webcam, by the way? It's going to be important.
I do see you, yes, but I think
Excellent.
like people can put that wherever they want. So yes, I think everyone.
All right. So if you can see my webcam, I'm going to turn it off for just a second because it's going to get kind of, I'm going to move it. Okay. Starting the video again. This time you see my tabletop and you see my phone, I hope. I can't see my phone. I don't know how to see it, but I'm assuming you can.
Yes, we see in the phone screen.
Excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. It's plugged into the computer. Going to unlock it with my super fancy fingerprint. And yeah, it's connected. So in order to get Adb to see the phone, you have to enable USB debugging. And in order to enable USB debugging, you have to enable developer mode. It's going to be down here in, I believe, about phone. If you tap on the build number several times, you have to tap it 7 times. And once you do that, it enables developer mode. Okay, so one person, oh, it's Christian, has an old Xiaomi Mi 5. That's cool. Well, give it a shot. Let me know how it goes. So yeah, build number, unlock Android, developer tools. Android developer tools live in system, at least on my phone it does. I'm going to go to advanced because I am an advanced Android developer. I'm going to go to developer options. They look like that. And I'm going to scroll until I see something that says USB on it. And I'm going to enable it. Yep. I'm going to get that warning. Intended for development purposes only, yada, yada, yada. Just hit OK. Cool. And right away, I know it's working because I just got an RSA key. This is my computer requesting control over my phone right now. I actually like to leave that box unchecked because of this, because I like to get the confirmation. First, the permission asking. It's always good when it asks permission, right? And second, and more importantly, it gives me some kind of visual cue that it's actually going to connect. So I hit allow here, and now I go back to my computer. And I go into that terminal, the up arrow, and I list Adb devices. And oh my God, a device is connected. Amazing. So now we've gotten this far. I'm going to go ahead and open the guide to my phone. Go over there. It is the OnePlus 6T. They call it the Fajita, which is cool. And this page has a lot of things in it. The thing you need the most is going to be the installation guide. Yes. So now that you have the installation guide, and actually, by the way, that page has some special boot modes and things. So just some key combinations. You generally won't need these, but it's kind of nice to have. It tells you how to take control over your phone. So we're going to go to the installation guide, and we are going to read these instructions. I've already read them, and if you were following along, I would actually pause for 5 minutes and I would make you read them, because if you skip any of these instructions, you're going to have a bad time. So read them. So make sure your computer is Adb and Fastboot. That's one we already did because I just downloaded the tools here, so that's fine. And yeah, here's the thing that tells you to read them at least once before actually following them to avoid any problems due to any missed steps. this big red box here, make sure it's running Android 11. So I'm going to go back to my phone and I'm going to look at it. And I'm going to see, is it Android version? Android version 11. I am fine. I am ready for this. And you'll see it's already Lineage Os. That's how I know this is going to go well today, because I've already de-Googled this phone once. So make sure it's on Android 11 firmware. It is on Android 11. We're going to unlock the bootloader. So you take this command, and because we are cheating with ADB, you have to type /ADB. So remember that. Because I didn't install it, I have to be in the directory where it is. So if I list, you'll actually see the command ADB in there. It's a file. It's an executable file. So /ADB space reboot space bootloader. And if you watch my screen on the phone, if you watch the phone, as soon as I hit enter, this phone's going to reboot into the bootloader. Oh my God, what just happened? I already told you what happened. You should know. There it goes. Fastboot mode. Cool. Now, we're going to make sure that we still have control over this phone right now, and we can't use ADB to do it. We have to use Fastboot command. So I'm going to type the command that they tell me to. We can skip this step because we're already there. We're already in Fastboot mode. So I'm going to run this command by typing / because we didn't install it. We're just running it. Fast, and I can just tab complete that. Fastboot devices. And look at that. It's detected. If it weren't detected, you wouldn't see that, that string right there. So, and actually I can disconnect it right now. I can unplug it from the phone and you'll see that it disappears. But when you plug it back in, it's immediate. You get it back. So don't be afraid. All right. And finally, the command that they're telling us to run next is going to be /fastboot OEM unlock. And this is the place where I anticipate a lot of you are going to get stuck on, because each cell phone provider has a different way of unlocking the phone. When it comes to actually providing the key to the phone, it's usually the same. They send you like a string that you have to type into this terminal. You know, you have to do like a special key, and you type it and then it unlocks it. But you can only get this key from the people that sold you the phone, assuming it's unlocked, assuming it's locked. If you bought an unlocked phone, then you don't really have to worry about this. But this is a command to use to unlock the phone. And as you can see here, I bought an unlocked phone. So the task failed, but it failed successfully. Failed, remote, device already unlocked. Hooray. So if the device doesn't automatically reboot it, it should now be unlocked. So I would reboot it, but it's already unlocked. So we're going to download the custom recovery. I'm going to do that from Lineage Recovery. I'm just going to click the things they give me. I'm not like going anywhere special. It says download a custom recovery. You can download it from this right here. I'm going to click it. And you'll see this menu here. This menu is kind of confusing in my opinion, so I'd recommend paying attention to this next bit. These ones on the left are actual full operating systems. These ones on the right are the recovery images. The ones on the top are the newest, and you want the newest. So click the one on the right that's on the top. We're going to save this file in the Android folder. I'm going to go to the desktop where I saved it, and I'm going to go all the way into that directory. Platform tools. And yeah, this is where I'm going to leave it. So you'll notice I selected that directory because that's where I am in the terminal. So I want this path to be the same as this path, which it is. So I'm going to leave that name alone, and I'm going to hit save in this directory, which is the same as this directory. And it's going to take a little bit of time. We're going to wait until that downloads. And actually, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and kick off the download for this one once this one finishes, because it's kind of big. So if you have slow internet at home, I recommend starting this download as well as soon as possible. It's not too big. It's only 500 megs, but in my particular scenario, I'm going to do it now because my connection's kind of slow. So yeah. And we can even check on that download to make sure the directories are the same by going into the terminal and just typing ls. I should see some files appearing here so I know I got the directory right, because they're in here next to this Adb command. That's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of headache. If you save these two files next to each other, your life is easy. So definitely do that. Let's see, what else can I do to stall for time while that downloads? It's my next slide. Oh yeah, this is how you enable developer options. What else? Live demo. Oh yeah, so live demo. That's it. That's all I got. I'm going to go back to my instructions. I'm just going to continue, and we're just going to twiddle our thumbs for a minute and wait. How's chat doing? Is chat alive? I see 8 of you.
We are live, but quiet. I don't know if people have had coffee yet.
Hello, Kasoni. I see you. I am here too. Yay.
So in the meantime, I'm going to say something about, like, we've got some giveaways for B-Sides that you can find on the general Slack channel.
Oh, excellent.
And we have like a free course from Applied Network Defense, and we've got a bunch of vouchers for Pentest Lab. So, and we also have like some discount codes for other stuff. So if you go there, there are some pin commands, pin messages. So you can check that out if you'd like to have a chance to win one of those.
Well, definitely check that out. I will. I'm not sure if I'm allowed, but anyway, my file download is ready. That's exciting. Thank you for that. What do I do now? Let's see. It says connect the device to your PC via USB. You can see I've already done that. On the computer, type the command adb reboot bootloader. I can actually skip this step because I didn't restart the phone. So this is the one and only time I'm going to tell you to skip the step. If your phone is already unlocked. If it's not unlocked, then you need this step. So in my particular case, I can skip it. Now I'm going to go into Fastboot Mode, /Fastboot Mode and devices. And I'm going to see it's connected. Excellent. So we have positive control over this phone right now. And I'm going to go ahead and flash new firmware onto this phone. The firmware I just downloaded, in fact. So to do that, /fastboot flash boot, and then that special file name that I downloaded, which you can see it up here. Ignore the part file. Now that the download is finished, the part file is gone. This is the file, the only file that will be there. I'm going to type the LIN for lineage, and I'm going to hit tab, and it's going to type all that stuff for me. And then I hit enter. And it's going to flash that firmware to the phone. And it says OK on the right. And it said it only took 2.039 seconds. It's very exacting, apparently. So I just flashed firmware onto this phone. If you just followed along, pat yourself on the back, because you're kind of a developer now. All right. Volume down, power. So with the device powered off, hold down, volume down, and power. All right, so we're going to do that. I'm going to power off the phone. Oh, no, it's powering on. I want it to power off. Turn off you. There we go. It's off. Oop. No, no, no. Excuse me one moment. It's putting up a fight. Turn off. Come on. I'm going to take it off screen. Power off. All right, now it's off. I'm going to hold down volume down and power. Let's see if it does it. Oh, good, it did it. So the firmware you just flashed gives you this. It's called Lineage Os Recovery. This is the fancy recovery software. And what's kind of cool about this actually is it is touchable. Like this interface, they actually put enough love and care into it to make it finger interactive. So with that, pre-install instructions. I'm going to read this real quick to make sure I don't break anything. Sideload the copy partitions.zip package by doing the following. So this brick is kind of intimidating. I just read all of this up to here. So to do this, sideload the copy partitions.zip package by doing the following. Download it from here. Yeah, it's a different file host, but that's what you get, I guess. When you download Lineage OS, you do have to download from a third party. I'm going to go ahead and download it. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer to my region. I'm going to save that file in the Platform Tools folder. Save it. And that wasn't too bad. And I'm also going to go ahead and kick off that download like I said I would, because it's a lot bigger. And we're going to let that run while I do this. All right. Download the copy partitions file. Did that. Sideload the zip package on the device. Select Apply Update. Apply Update. And then apply from ADB to begin sideload. It's now in ADB sideload mode. Active slot B. Cool. The copy partition, so it has a warning here. I feel like it should be in red because it is a security warning. Lineage OS, the publisher, is telling you that it was created by a developer, but it isn't signed with the official Lineage OS key. Therefore, the Lineage OS recovery software is going to complain about it. It's going to say signature verification failed, but they're telling you to click continue. So I'm reading these instructions on the wiki.lineageos.org website. And I'm going to make sure I'm actually viewing these instructions from a good source. So I'm going to view their certificate real quick just to make sure I trust this domain. Wiki.lineageos.org. So it is SSL encrypted, and it's under the lineageos.org domain. So if I go to that domain, are these also people I trust? Yeah, I think so. That missing owner field is a bit funny, but they're just using Let's Encrypt certificate, so it's kind of, entry-level TLS certificate, but it's there, and I trust these people. So I'm going to take this advice today and bypass the security warning. So I'm going to run the command they tell me to run, which is this command I'm going to highlight here. I'm going to go to the terminal. I'm going to clear it because it's cluttered. And I'm going to type / because we didn't install ADB. So ADB sideload, copy, and then from there I can just hit tab. Copy. Why didn't I tab complete it? Dash partitions. There we go. It needed the dash. So copy dash, and that's enough to make it distinct. So I hit tab and it auto-completed that. And I'm going to go ahead and execute the command on the computer. And when I do, you're going to see a lot of stuff happen on the phone, on the webcam over here, okay? I'm going to hit enter, and it's serving a file. Oh, and there it goes. So you got some text down here, and you got the signature verification failed install anyway. They warned us about that, so we're going to accept it. Yes, and it's going to install things. Very nice. Cool. It looks like it just finished. Now reboot to recovery by typing advanced and then reboot to recovery. So to get to advanced, we're going to go back and then advanced, reboot to recovery. Excellent. There's that ominous bootloader warning. Be proud of it. I am. So now I'm in a bit of a pickle as far as the presentation is concerned, because I have to download the Lineage OS installation package. And I already started it, and it says it's got 22 minutes left, which is a long time to wait to download a file. I was hoping when I tested this during my practice session, the internet was a little bit faster than this. Today, it's not so fast. So it's creeping down. It's got 16 minutes on the clock, but that's a lot of time to ask my audience to wait, which I was prepared to do if people were following along. But in this case, yeah, I don't have any TV magic that I can pull today. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think we can do a 15 minutes break early, and then we can continue.
Okay. That sounds like an excellent plan. So, sorry everyone if I had thought about this particular problem ahead of time. I guess this is kind of what I sign up for, I guess, when I do this live. Yeah, I'm used to fiber internet at home, and I have it all to myself. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take a break, and yeah, get a coffee, get chips. If you leave, that's fine. I forgive you. And yeah, I'll speak up when it's finished downloading, and we'll continue from there. Okay, it's downloaded, everybody. Come back to me. I'll show you the next step. We are continuing. So we're in the first step of installing Lineage OS from recovery. To help us all focus, I'm going to turn off the music. We'll keep it low. I think it feels nice. Yeah. So they're telling you if you wanted to sneak in some Google apps because you can't live without them. Personally, I miss Google Maps. Everything else I can live without, but Google Maps was one that I kind of wish I still had. So if we're not already into recovery, they're telling you to reboot into recovery. We left it in recovery. It's over here. So we're going to factory reset this phone, then format data factory reset. It's going to delete everything. So be ready for that. I did plan ahead on this part, and I did back up my phone. So here we go. Delete everything. Factory reset. And then format data, factory reset. Do you want to format user data? That means all the files you care about. So if you care about these files, click cancel. I don't care about my files, so I'm going to format data. It's going to erase all my stuff. And then when we're done, we're going to return to step 4. Oh, and there it is, data wipe complete. So we get to return to the main menu. And we're going to sideload the big Android file we just waited to download. So on the device, select apply update, then apply from ADB, just like we did for recovery. Apply from ADB. And now I get to apply the update from my computer. So I'm going to go into the terminal now. I'm already in the folder where the Adb command exists, and I can confirm that by just listing the directories. I think, yeah, it should be here. There it is, right there. Cool. So /adb sideload, and then the file name. Now, what's the file name? Well, I can cheat. I can go here. Lineage-18 is what I think I'll need to make this file unique enough for the next part, which is tab completion. So I'm going to hit tab, and it's going to complete that for me. And oh, look, it's stopped. So apparently the recovery I downloaded is named similarly enough to the recovery. So the file name is the same all the way up to here. So it's stopped, and it's now kind of asking me, do you want the recovery? So you type R, or do you want the nightly signed zip? So I want the nightly signed zip. So I'm going to type N and then tab, and I'm ending with a .zip, which is what they're telling me here. So it's going to be a file name .zip. Cool. So the next part, I'm going to read this ahead of time. The process succeeds. The output will stop at 47%. I'm going to say that again. It will stop at 47%, which is misleading because that's kind of scary. You're like, you get a progress bar and you expect it to go to 100, right? On my phone, no. Oh yeah, look at that. Good eye. So to get to the front of this command in bash, I'm going to type Control-A and then write. Thank you very much, Joe. J-O-H-E, Joe. ADB is the command I need. Thank you. And I'm going to go to the end of the line. I was going to press end. All right. Cool. So, success. In some cases, it will report ADB failed to read command, no error, which is also fine. So, just because you're going to see, if you see an error message here, doesn't necessarily mean something bad happened. So, be prepared for that. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and we're going to watch on the phone just to kind of see what it does. Click in, hit enter. And there it goes. It is now serving files to my phone, and those files are being acknowledged by the phone. And we're just going to watch that progress bar tick up. Fortunately, it is a lot faster than the download. So this will probably take about a minute or two. And if you do actually get to this point, again, pat yourself on the back because you're flashing firmware right now. If you get here, you're flashing firmware, which is kind of impressive. At least in my opinion. The more, I feel everyone should know how to do this. And the reason I feel that is because Google would like you to believe that you can't do this, that you don't have control over your phone, and that it's disposable. And I'm here to tell you today that your phone is a computer. It is just like your laptop or your desktop computer. It has a screen, keyboard, inputs and outputs. It has a bootloader, and it runs an operating system. Instead of Windows or Mac OS, it runs Android. In this case, this particular flavor of Android is called Lineage Os. It has a CPU. The CPU on a phone like this is actually something called ARM architecture, which is kind of like Intel for Windows computers, and nowadays Apple makes their own silicon. And funny thing about that, Apple silicon is actually ARM as well. When Apple licensed their chips, they bought the blueprints from ARM. So fun fact, your Apple device is actually quite similar to this phone right here. Yeah, only mobile, but still, they license ARM. It's cool. Anyway, where are we? Total transfer, 100x. That sounds good, right? So installing update, step 2 of 2. It looks like it's done. Let's see what the instructions say. It's telling me here, this is your opportunity to install some extra software onto the phone. So this would be your opportunity to download software that is kind of shady. If I'm honest, there is one package that allows you to spoof a Google signature, so that way you can get some special Google services back on the phone. I don't recommend it, but it's called Micro G. So if you want this Lineage OS phone to be a bit more googly, you can install Micro G, but this is the time you have to do it. Once you proceed from this step, you can't get a full installation of Micro G, and you'll have to do all of this again. So just kind of, pin that away in the back of your mind in case you get really into this. So yeah, and it's telling you if you sideload any apps, it's going to complain that signature verification failed again. So yeah, and yeah, if you want Google Apps on your phone, which I don't understand why you would, if you're going through all the trouble of installing a de-Googled Android, I don't see why you would want these, but you can do it. You can put them back. All right, so we're on step 7. Once you've installed everything, click the back arrow and then reboot system now. So I'm going to do that. Reboot system now. Bootloader warning, that's never going to go away. You can look into actually getting this bootloader message gone and relocking the bootloader. But to my understanding, you as a developer, and you are a developer now in my opinion, you as a developer cannot lock that bootloader because only the OEMs have the keys to do it. I might be wrong on this. You might be able to hack it closed your own way. But just know that if you try to lock the bootloader, you're kind of playing with fire because you might lock yourself out with no way back in. So just take care. And yeah, we're actually done. We're at the bottom. That was it. We installed Lineage OS today, but we're not done with the presentation because I want to show you the software you're going to need. Because it's not complete. So I'm just going to leave it like this, if you don't mind. Lineage doesn't come with an app store. So I'm going to set my time, I guess. And actually, I'm going to take the phone off the screen for a minute because I just realized I don't have a SIM card in here, but I do have one handy. I just have to put it in. So bear with me one moment while I give this phone connection to the internet. There's my SIM card, putting the SIM card in the phone. Okay. I love how you all here in Spain actually put SIM pins on your SIM cards. I think that's really neat. Okay. Where am I? I am GMT -2, I believe. Where's the +2? What's my time zone? There it is, GMT +2. Cool. 10:1, that looks right, that looks right. Next. And you'll notice just by, I hope you're all looking at my webcam, by the way, because that's what I'm doing. I'm playing with the phone right now. So you'll notice it's a lot like setting up a regular Android phone. That all of these things are kind of the same, except you don't get Google standing in front of the door telling you you have to agree to all these terms and conditions before you're allowed to use your own phone. Here it just enables features and lets you in, which I love and appreciate. So I just enabled cellular data, and now I'm going to go ahead and hit next. It's asking if I want to enable location services. I actually like Lineage Os, so I'm going to leave that on. I usually turn it off with Google. And I'm going to help Lineage Os. I'm actually going to give them my logs because I love Lineage Os. I love their developers. I love everything about them. I appreciate that they went through all the trouble to make this as painless as it can get. And it actually could get more painless, but this is manageable. I'm prepared to live like this. It's asking me if I want to set up a fingerprint. I'm going to skip that right now. And if I protect it, I can set a PIN and encrypt it and all that good stuff. I'm going to skip for now, and I'll restore my data later. So I'm just going to hit start. And there it is. Lineage Os in all its lovely glory. Here's all the apps you get. Web browser. It's not Firefox or anything. It's just called a web browser. I don't know what it is. And yeah, you'll notice in here, there's no App Store. There's no Google Play. They even removed F-Droid. So we have to go get one. So here's where you get it. fdroid.org. And ooh, look at that. It went to Google as its default search provider. Gross. They should fix that in the next release. DuckDuckGo. Thank you very much. F-Droid. .org. And that'll probably get me there. Yep. There is a Google Map-like app. I'll show you what it is. First, I'm going to download an app store because I need an app store to show it to you. So I'm going to go ahead and allow. I'm installing F-Droid right now. I'm going to download it. When it's finished downloading, I'll install it, and I'll install it like you do install software on a regular computer. So I'm going to browse down here. I'm going to click that APK. It's going to give me a security warning. This phone is not allowed to install unknown apps from the source. And actually, this phone is like, it's set up very securely because you can't install any software aside from sideloading once it's booted. Like, they got no way in. So you actually have to go to settings, like it tells you to, and just click the thing they're telling you to click, which is to allow me to install software from the browser, which I need to do to install F-Droid, which is an app store. Welcome to F-Droid. I personally recommend you install a lot of software out of here, as much as you can, because this software is free. Not just free as in zero cost. I mean free as in free is in freedom. The software is almost always open source, and it's very respectful of your privacy. And if it's not 100% respectful of your privacy, F-Droid will tell you right on the front page of that app. And now that I've just said that, I'm going to tell you how to find Aurora Store, where all the apps you want are going to live. So if you want to install like Snapchat or Facebook or something, you're not going to find it in F-Droid. It just doesn't exist in there. They do have Facebook alternatives, though. In my personal opinion, I like Frost for Facebook. They do call it an anti-feature because it's not 100% privacy respectful. But when you're dealing with Facebook, that's just kind of what you sign up for. But Frost for Facebook is really good. It's a respectful alternative. Oh yeah, so I have to enable this one to install software as well. So F-Droid is an app store. It's reasonable to allow it to install software. I'm going to install Frost because I like Frost, actually. I'm going to go back and I'm going to find the Aurora store. Aurora. Install. Takes just a moment. And this is really neat. I don't know much about them, and I do want to understand a little bit more about how they're operating, because I'm not sure how they get away with it, frankly, but it's basically a copy of the Google Play Store, but it's not served by Google. So after reading agrees in terms, at some point I am going to read these because I do want to know more about this store. And yeah, I'm going to set it up. Next. I'm just going to accept the defaults and I'm going to read them. Next. Sounds good. I like this color. Next. I have to grant 3 permissions. That's what it's telling me to do. Allow. Allow. And allow. Done. App Store set up. Come on. Go next. Oof, why are you stuck? There we go. Cool. So you can choose to log in with Google, or you can go anonymous mode. You can just get into the Play Store without signing in. Imagine that. Just downloading software and then installing it. What a novel concept. Speaking of just downloading software and installing it, that's actually my next slide. Personal safety. You're operating outside the walled garden of Google, all right? When you use a Google phone, you are trusting Google to protect you, and they want your business, so they protect you really, really aggressively. Since we've abandoned Google, you, the user, are now accountable for your own online safety. If anything should happen to your phone, if your data is stolen, you can't run and complain to Google. I'm not saying you're any more or less safe per se. If you behave like a reasonable person, you're gonna be fine. But I still recommend you install something to protect yourself. I use Sophos Intercept X. Intercept. And the reason I use Sophos Intercept X is because it's free. They don't charge any money. So that's kind of nice. It looks like it's still downloading some repos. So it's not showing up just yet, but it will. I believe in it. But yeah, come on. Where are you? I can search for different kinds of apps in here. It's going to search. Let's see. There you go. Yay, Sophos Intercept X for mobile. That's what the application icon looks like. I install it immediately. It's the first thing I do whenever I de-Google my phone. I install this app. It scans your apps every time you install something. And if it recognizes a low reputation app or something malicious looking, it will notify you and it will prompt you to remove it. So it's nice. Just going to accept and continue, allow it, allow. I'm just going to trust it. Always run in the background. Yes, I want my anti-malware to always run in the background. That's something I definitely want. Yep. Scan everything. Track all of my apps, please. You are my anti-malware. I believe in this app to protect me. Yep. Don't let any apps draw on top of Sophos Intercept X. Cool. What is it complaining about? Screen lock. I have no password configured on my phone, and it's telling me about it. Thanks, Sophos. And yeah, so great way to protect yourself. All right, moving on. Fixing notifications, you can do so with micro G. Someone asked if there is a Google Map-like alternative, and there is. I'm going to go and go to the Aurora store, and I'm going to show you what that is right now. The Google Map alternative I use is called Here We Go. Yep, they have a beta and a regular version. They're both pretty good. I like stable software, so I'm going to install a regular version. And I'm going to level with you right now. It's no Google. It doesn't have Street View, and it doesn't have the most up-to-date hours for businesses, so it's not the best directory listing. So yeah, it is pretty good with Metro, though. I do get around here in Barcelona really well. And, you know, it's all thanks to this app. And when I want to actually use Google Maps, I like to actually set it up. I pin it to my homepage. I actually have both Google Maps and Here We Go, and I use them both because I'm still dependent on the business listings for Google Maps. So, yep, there's some full disclosure for you. Finally, micro G. I do need to bring up micro G because it has some pluses and minuses that you need to be aware of. At some point, you're going to run into a feature that isn't going to work without some kind of Google Play services, and it's going to be a feature you will miss. So if you want to go there, you can go there. Micro G. Oh, actually, yeah, you can't even download it from the F-Droid store. You actually have to download it from their website. That's right, I forgot. So I'm going to open a web browser, and I'm just going to search for it. Micro G. Yep, and the microg.org is the official publisher of this app. There are some copycats, and honestly, they're all kind of shady. But at least in my opinion, it's the fact that they have a spoof signature and they're encouraging the use of it, in my opinion, is kind of stepping over the line. But yeah, this is where you go to download it. You install a repo into F-Droid. I'm just going to tap on the address. They give you fingerprint, signing key, all of that. If you open this on your computer, you can just scan that QR code and it will install the repo for you, which is the same as just clicking this link. it's going to open it in F-Droid, I believe. Open, at least I was hoping it would. Address, F-Droid archive. Yeah, I'm going to install Firefox real quick because this built-in browser isn't actually good enough for me. So yeah, the default Lineage OS experience, it's very pared down. It's as Google free as it gets and as free as it gets, but the world I live in demands a little bit more of me. So I use a more fully featured browser like Firefox, which also happens to respect my privacy. I'm gonna let that install on this progress bar down there. Yeah, install it, please. Open it. Cool. I like the dark theme. I like the URL on the top. Strict privacy enforcement, please. Start browsing. And I'm going to go back to their micro G release. And again, with Google as the default search engine, I don't know why people do this. Go. All right, one more time from the top. Once again, for the third time, micro G. You can do it. Micro G project. Gonna go to their download page. F-Droid repository. Open link and external app. That's what I wanted to see. Yay! So I don't know if you just caught what I just did there, but I clicked the open link and external app button and it got it to pre-populate all of this. What a fuss. It's okay, it's worth it. Add. Excellent. Now it's going to pull down that repo, I believe. Or not. I'm going to force it to update its repositories. Cool. And now I'm going to search for micro G in the F-Droid store. There it is. Micro G Services Core. Re-implementation of Google Play Services. Yeah, and it kind of spoofs Google Play Services, kind of puts them back. And I actually do use this. I don't really recommend doing it unless you have to. But I need notifications. Push notifications are served by a service called Firebase. I really don't know too much about it, but what I do understand is that push notifications originate from the web and they are served to your phone. How does Firebase know what phone you have? Well, Google issues you a special token. It's like a key, and it's registered with Firebase. So your key to get your notifications is registered to Firebase. So anytime an application wants to publish a notification to you, they uniquely identify you with your registered token. So I'm going to go ahead and install it. And yeah, we're going to open it. This is where you would add a Google account if you had one. And the thing you really want is, I believe it's this one, Google device registration. And that's the key, the unique identifier. Micro G strips identifying bits other than your Google account name from registration data. And you want to enable this Google device registration if you want push notifications to show up on your phone. So things like Discord or Slack, you need to do this in order for those notifications to make it to you. So yeah, I'm at the end of my presentation, really. I think from here, you all have what you need to kind of take off from here. You have an app store, you have a web browser, you actually have 2 app stores. So yeah. Oh, and I have a question in chat here. What about Unimail. It's a Gmail one. You are right. My university mail, I actually have 5 Gmail addresses. I have 3 personal ones, one from my last university and one from the university I'm attending right now. So let me show you what I have to do. We're just going to go there. Oh, hold on. I'm not gonna let you read my mail. Trust me when I say this, I'm opening the settings button. I'm clicking on my profile and I'm managing my Google account. Here's what you need. All right. So this is the URL, myaccount.google.com. You need to set up something called an application password. And the reason you need to do that is because the free webmail app that I use doesn't support OAuth. Some of them do. If you're willing to spend some money, you can actually get mail apps. You can even install Gmail, I think. But I like to use from the F-Droid store because I'm a weirdo. Okay. Fair mail. There it is. Fair email, fully featured email client. And they do support OAuth, but the one served up by F-Droid isn't licensed to have OAuth. So it doesn't support OAuth unless you pay fair mail and get the fully featured one, which in my personal opinion is probably actually a really good thing to do, because it saves you all the setup of having to do things to your Google account. But you don't have to pay money. I'll show you how to get away with it without paying money. So it's fair and open source, focuses on privacy and security, and you're going to get like privacy and security every time you download an app from F-Droid. It's just kind of their mantra, if you will. I'm going to agree to those terms because I really like them. And I'm going to add an account. And it's going to be, yeah, and again, normally Gmail OAuth. It only works in official versions only because Android has the act signature. Okay, so yeah, OAuth doesn't work. But that's okay, because I'm going to go to other provider and I'm going to set it up another way. So I give it a name, it can be any name, email address, Kim at kimsdomain.com. And in this case, it's actually going to be gmail.com. And for the password, you have to go to the security tab, I believe. Where is it? Data and privacy, yeah, security tab. So on my screen, I have to create an app password. So I go in here to app passwords. I authenticate. This is all SSO, so I select an app, give it a name. I like to name it what it is going to, at least the device. So 6T mail app. And I generate, and if I do that, it will show me a password that I can type into this box, which lets me in. The password, in my opinion, is a lot less secure. It is at least a password that only serves a single purpose. So on that front, it's a bit more focused, but ultimately I don't really like app passwords and I don't like using them. That is how I operate for the time being. I implore all of you, if you follow in these footsteps, if you decide that you want an Android phone that's de-Googled, I implore you to go out, search, find an application, a mail application that supports OAuth, because OAuth is actually a stronger method of authentication, and the app passwords should really not be used unless you have to. But You can do it this way. You absolutely can. So, yeah. Any other questions? What can I share about Lineage OS stability? I personally, in the last year, I have found it to be completely stable. I have not had a single issue. And mind you, I install every update they send me. When I see an update, they push their OTA updates on, it's either weekly or bi-weekly. I don't know. When I see one, I just install it. I don't think twice. I don't read the change logs. I just install it, and it's been incredibly stable and trustworthy. Of course, I'm using this phone. So take that with a grain of salt. If your phone is supported by a developer who probably doesn't care as much, then maybe it's less stable. I don't know. But I can tell you, in my personal experience on the OnePlus 6T Fajita, it's incredibly stable. I have not had any problems. You know, outside of the usual, I don't have Google type problems, which is kind of a nice way to live. I'm kind of proud of it. I own it. It's a lifestyle choice. And if you do choose to live like this, I do recommend going out and getting a second phone. Use that new phone purchase to buy a phone that's supported, and then keep your old phone. And the reason I say that is sometimes you run into situations where you have to have Google, and you must use it. And in those situations, you can pull that phone out of your back pocket or off your desk or whatever, and you can turn it on, just use it for that purpose, and then turn it off. So you can kind of at least compartmentalize the areas of your life where Google is required. Sorry, I got a bit ranty there. Did that answer your question, Sergio? Okay, cool. Awesome. Any other questions in chat? All right. Well, I guess that's the end of my my lecturing. Question was more what it feels like to possess your own data. It's quite satisfying. I have a NAS, a network attached storage appliance, where I house all of my data. At some point, I'm actually going to set up a personal cloud. I like to pick and choose where I trust cloud technologies, and having my entire personal file system connected to the internet does kind of make me a bit nervous. So I'm still devising a way to maybe have a separate, just on-cloud private NAS solution. But it's very satisfying to not be constantly leaking as much information to Google. You can't really escape Google, because if you have any presence at all on the internet, you're public, you're exposed, right? So anything anyone sees during those public exposed times are candidate for being logged and recorded. So Google, being the advertising company that they are very interested in profiling you. And they want to know as much about you as they can possibly take from you. So Google knows things about you, and there's nothing you can do to get away from that, except fight back. You can stop willingly giving them things. if they get something about you, they have to take it from you. That's my take on the matter. So I like to fight back. I like to use the software. It's makes me feel good, bubbly inside, even when things don't work, even when I can't unlock my Amazon locker. I still feel good because it's a reminder that I made it this amount of time before I ran into a feature that I need that requires Google. And that was like months where I just operated without Google. And then suddenly this thing came up, and I don't carry my Google phone anymore because of that. I never need it, except when I go pick up packages from Amazon. So, yeah. Sorry if I seem distracted. I'm enrolling a fingerprint right now. I'm following my instructions that Bitwarden is giving me. So yeah. Were there any other times where I needed Google services? Ooh. Let me think back here. I'm sure there are. Offhand, I can't really think of them. But again, I've been de-Googled. I've been using Lineage Os for well over a year now. Or at least it feels that long. So all of the challenges that I've overcome are kind of behind me. I found alternatives to Google services and just started using those. So yes, there have been other times where I've needed Google services. The Google Maps store is actually Google Maps is the one that I still miss very, very deeply. And that's why I use their web version, because it's actually pretty good on the web. It's not the best. You don't get turn-by-turn directions. But if you go to maps.google.com, you can actually pin Google Maps to, and you have to agree. They got me, guys. They got me. I'm accepting their terms because I like Google Maps. But you see, it was a choice. I let them in. It wasn't a blockade telling me you're not allowed to have your phone unless you click this yes button. It was me deciding. I made an active choice right then to accept Google services so I can have Google Maps. So yeah, I'm going to, here it is, install. And when it says install, what that really means is put a shortcut on my desktop. So now, I sort of have Google Maps on my phone now, which is just a web browser that does one thing only, which is go to Google Maps. But it's not bad. Oh yeah, I use YouTube on the web as well. I still log in. I still log into YouTube. I like the recommendations and I like the lack of ads. I used to use an ad blocker on YouTube, but it's kind of a cat and mouse game where every time a new ad blocker comes out, Google has to, kill it. So I personally like to sign in through Firefox, and I let Firefox fight the battle for me as far as maintaining my digital privacy. And Firefox also has containers, which allow you to at least jail. You can put a jail around different apps. I have a container for Facebook. I have a container for school. And I have a container for, I guess that's really it. But I actually don't see containers in the web version, so I only do it on the desktop version, I guess. But the point is, I go to the Firefox for everything. They're the ones I decide to trust. I never install Chrome. So, yeah. Any other questions? Which chat app do I recommend? Ooh, that's a good one. I use them all, actually. So the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart is Signal. Signal. I don't know if they're in here. I think you can actually download Signal directly. Don't quote me on that. But let's see. Yeah, Signal Home, download. Let's see if they'll just serve me a download. Yeah, it goes to the Google Play Store. Yeah, get used to not saying that. Yep. So the other one is Telegram. I like Telegram as well. And I don't see them in here either. I always check F-Droid to see if the app I want is in here first. And oh, look, oh my God, Telegram's in here. I forgot they have a FOSS version. Yes, look at that. It even gets love. It was updated 3 weeks ago. They actually update Telegram. So, all right. So I revised my prior statement. I no longer love Signal. I love Telegram now because they publish on F-Droid. I love apps that are published on F-Droid because they don't come with any strings. They generally don't come with ads. And it's just better. It's a better way to live. They're not constantly after your money. It's just software that belongs to the community and you use it. So Telegram is the one I now love the most. But I use them all. Whenever I don't see it in F-Droid, I go to Aurora, and I can tell you right now, one of the first things I'm going to need is Discord. And yeah, I use Discord. I like it a lot because all my friends are there. I don't know how much they respect my privacy, but I know I love my friends. So I download and use Discord, and I don't notice any differences when using this app. Problem for me with the Chrome Wallets extension. Ooh, yeah. Are they arriving in Brave? I don't actually use a digital wallet on my phone, so I have absolutely zero experience with that. I don't see why it technically couldn't work, but if it's a Google exclusive service, I would almost expect it to not work unless a browser can provide that functionality entirely, which I'm kind of doubtful. If I'm honest, I wouldn't get my hopes up about having a digital wallet. But try it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying. See if it works. And if it works, that's a victory. And if it doesn't, maybe politely ask somebody if they're willing to show you how to make it work. And we'll see if anyone else. Oh, speaking of asking people, Lineage has a community of people. And they actually have at the bottom of every instructions is a get assistance, right? If you get stuck, ask our subreddit, or they have a chat. The subreddit's pretty good. You can ask questions on their subreddit. And I don't know what Libra is. I'm sure it's nice. But yeah. So, yeah, crypto wallets are principally there. Cool. Well, I implore you to install Lineage Os and go up to your favorite, someone you know. Ideally, if you're a regular at someone, just tell them, just warn them, I'm going to try this. And if it doesn't work, I have a card ready. Just tap, see. Yeah, let me know how it goes. Good. Any other questions? All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and call it here. It is exactly noon. So thank you to all my attendees who stayed around for, 3 hours. Or is 10? Well, only 2 hours. My mistake. It wasn't that long. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Kim. That was very interesting. I'm one of the ones who's going to definitely try with my old phone. If not, I think I'm going to get just a cheap one to try this apart from my main phone and see how it goes.
Excellent.
First. So thank you. That was very well explained. I think that was very enjoyable with the phone in there and everything. So thank you very much for everything.
Absolutely. Take care now.
Yeah. Bye-bye,
Give you a
everyone.
thumbs up. Bye-bye, everyone.